Hello again, this is Zollith, and this is yet another part to my 2B combo commentary. This time I'm looking at combos that look at two specific lethal hits. The ones that spend 9 analysis points, which is a mechanic I'll explain later. And those are lethal hit 4K and 3B, well, aerial leap AAK. Combos that work off of 4K would also work off of 6K, but for the sake of this video I'm just going to consider them the same. So I'm just going to do a brief tutorial on how analysis points works. For certain kicks that she does, she gains ability points, and when she has 9, she can use those particular lethal hits. As of Season 2, they also gain a little bit of guard stamina as well. So the following moves give you 1 analysis point and about 3% guard stamina, and that is 6kk, 3k with a slight hold. This is an interesting move in that you can hold it for different amounts of time. If you do that, then you don't get any. You have to do a very slight hold, and that is still a natural combo. And also 1k. All those moves give you about 3% guard stamina back and 1 analysis point. The moves that give you 2 analysis points are 6k hold K, which only combos on counter hits. 3k with a full hold, that is also only a combo on counter hits. 4k, when it's not a lethal hit, that will give you 2 analysis points, and 4k, which you may have seen me use as a combo ender for most of my combos in previous sections. And those will give you 2 analysis points and about 6% guard stamina. The moves that give you 4 are jumping K and 4-4 hold K. And those give you 4 analysis points and about 10% guard stamina each. And you'll know when you've got 9 AP because there will be a very obvious yellow flash, and Pod 042 will also helpfully mention that you've collected everything you need.
Analysis complete.
Now, when you've got analysis points, you can keep attempting these until it lands. So I'm just going to do it with the regular input, rather than the training mode input. You can see I'm putting 4k there. Once I land it though, it's only when it lands that they're all spent. You don't have an option to not spend them, but then if you use the moves, but then you'd only use them knowing that they're going to trigger anyway. If you didn't want to spend them and you landed 3D, then you just do AAB instead or something. And if you wanted to do a poke that's not 4k, then you just do something like 3 hold K instead for almost exactly the same thing. So hopefully remembering that when you do have analysis points, you'll know your options to save it. And another bonus is that you gain all your guard stamina back if you do land them. So never mind gaining a little bit back, it completely resets if you land one of these. So I'm going to go over combos that use those lethal hits, starting with 3B. And this makes it a much scarier Wish Punish. Generally, you're probably just going to go for damage, so what you do is follow with 4. Into AGS A to B. And as you can see, the timing can be a bit precise with that, but the damage is worth it. If your opponent is near a ring edge and you don't quite ring them out, what you can also try and go for... Alright, that rung them out, but if for whatever reason that doesn't work, and you can pick them up with BK
report. Fresh.
Angle 4K into 6KB. And so long as they're fairly parallel with them. If the ring edge is right to their backs, then that will ring out. If you're near a wall, then 4/4 hold B is going to probably go over their heads, so that would be a time to either go for 9k so that you can get some AP back and maybe go for a second one. You're a very daring devil if you do. Or even attempt a small wall splat with yeah. Combos off of that particular wall splat are unreliable because the direction it goes is all over the place. So normally I just stick to that and see what I can get off of that afterwards. Just do 6 beard K if you happen to wall splat with aerial leap K. That seems to be, and then you can see what sort of combo you're going to get after that if you get any more at all. Right, so moving on to a 3-hold B. Yeah, much the same things. However, doing 4/4B can be a lot more difficult. I find I need to do a very small micro step back. Otherwise, against some characters and at some angles, the 4/4 hold B will completely whiff, which is really annoying. Yeah, that's just something to keep in mind, unfortunately. And of course, it'll whiff if the opponent is near a ring edge. Of course, the same things apply. You can do 9k or 4/3 B. And just remember, if you do the 3-hold B, you're probably going to bring your opponent to the left. So if you're trying to ring out the opponent, then keep that in mind and capitalize as necessary. Right. The next one I'm going to look at is full crouch beard K. This is going to make a comeback, and this isn't what I wouldn't. This is not what I'd recommend normally, but if you happen to land this move and want to maximize the damage, or you accidentally forgot about the lethal hit and you want to get a bit more damage out of it, then you do get something. So 660k, you can do the 3-hold B series into a little bit more damage. And same rules apply with picking up opponents with 3-hold B.
Program.
So that's there. And now the next move I'm going to look at is lethal hit 4K. In terms of damage, the most damaging thing I believe you can do is, without spending meter, is 6BK and 6-hold B. And that only works because the opponent was pressed against the wall when I did 6BK. Normally that would work. Much like with counter hit 6B combos in the past. And if you want a tiny bit more damage with spending your critical edge with some degree of meter, then go straight into this. That only does a tiny bit more damage, and it will do just under 3/4 damage with scaling. If you want to try and catch an opponent out with say 1/3 of their health left, then what you could try and do, if you're on critical health yourself, I'm just going to set my meter back to maximum. You can combo into self-destruct.
I will fulfill my mission.
And generators will do a little bit less than 50% damage, so it can be a really good way to steal around. It's something I've done in the past and I love doing it every time.
Alert.
So, something to keep in mind.
Due to self-destruction.
What's also handy is something I'm going to probably steal from a video Jimbonator made as well, and I'll link it even because of how much I learned from that particular video, and I'll add that to the description. So there's a lot of different ring outs you can do with this move, and often starting with a 60. So you could use that to go left. That to go right. There's all sorts of different ones you can do. You can do that to send your opponent to your back left, or you could even do hang on. This for a reverse bring out to your other side. I'll see if I can demonstrate those now, actually. That's a real reverse ring out there. Something to keep in mind with 3-hold B though is that at some angles it does seem to completely whiff, like right there. If you're too far to the left, then 3-hold B completely whiffs, which sucks. It really sucks. But which is why I don't often go for that, because sometimes I don't quite catch it. And of course, for like a straightforward front ring out, you can just do 60k into either 4-4k or 3-8k, something like that. And a combo that goes a bit further than that is 4k into 2-2k into a spam, and that brings out quite far as well, but for less damage. So basically you're always going to want to ring out for that. Next I will go. There's an alternative you can do if you don't think you're going to make the ring edge for similar damage and, well, keeping it above 70. So if you see this land but you don't think you're going to see a ring edge, and you land this, you can do A hold and Polarizing hold K. And that still does 73 damage, you get 2 AP back, and yeah, it's a nice combo. There's some fancy stuff you can do as well, including this, and hold B, okay, the combo enders of your choice, if you just want to kind of style on them for a little bit for similar damage. And again, you can do like air combo finishes of your choice, including that, or this, or that. So yeah, that's another one. Now, another one I've come into awareness of that can sometimes whiff if the opponent is near a wall is that one. And that one would be probably more useful in Soul Charge, but what you can also do 4-4 hold B. And that's a quite nice combo too. And another note I will say is that all those combos I've just described also apply to 6-K. But keep in mind, one annoying element of these lethal hits is that if it lands as a counter hit combo, the damage you do scales a lot less, so it's almost like it's not worth going for sometimes. Even though the end result is absolutely similar. But yeah. Just know, like, if it lands in counter hit, you do less damage for some reason, which sucks, but it's whatever, I guess. Right. One more note I will say is, if I move this to B, you can get the same combos off of a Versal Edge, but keep in mind the scaling is much worse if you land it off of this particular move, so it's not really as worth it. And 4-4 hold B is much more likely to miss. So that's one reason why I don't like going for the lethal hit unless I'm sure I'm gonna ring out with doing it. Same applies to this version.
You missed.
So yeah, not that much more damage considering what you spend. One thing I nearly forgot to add at the end is just a special note about Angler K. Different ranges. It's plus 16, so as I might have mentioned in another video, that also combos. The scaling's harder, but it still applies. Just be careful what sort of combos you pick them up with. Like, the stun off of that particular move is exactly the same, and in this game, if you try and do the same type of stun twice, then your opponent just standing resets. This also applies to doing a combo off of this. Yeah, all the same rules apply, just more damage scaling. That's the only other thing. The next section will go into Soul Charge, but that will be for the next video. I will cover normal hits, combos, counter hit combos, lethal hit combos, and combos that use 9 AP, all while you're in Soul Charge, so there's going to be some fancy stuff going on. I will see you there.